Subject of this evening's lecture, Douglas Gordon, was born in Glasgow in 1966, making him at present 42 years old. Gordon went to art school in Glasgow and then studied for 2 years at the Slade in London, graduating in 1990. Until recently, he maintained an apartment in New York, but several months ago he bought an apartment in Berlin, where he plans to spend a great deal of time during the coming years. He also maintains a continuing base in Glasgow. His breakthrough to art world fame took place in 1993 when he was invited to make an exhibition at Tramway, a former tram depot in Glasgow that had become a venue for contemporary art. For that occasion, he made a large-scale video projection of Alfred Hitchcock's classic suspense horror movie Psycho from 1960, starring Anthony Curtis and Janet Leigh, with the soundtrack eliminated and the image track greatly slowed down so as to last 24 hours from beginning to end. This means that instead of the standard 24 frames per second, the film goes by in silence and in extreme slow motion at not quite 2 frames per second. A simple modification or double modification of the original that turns out to give rise to an altogether different viewing experience from the ordinary one. Gordon called his projection 24-Hour Psycho, and it remains the work by which he is most widely known. Originally, that's what I had told Retzka, I thought it might be possible to discuss it here today, but there won't be time to do so. But anyone familiar with it can bring it up in the discussion afterward, if you like. In 1996, Gordon, then just 30, won the Turner Prize, one of the many annual prizes in the arts that official British culture brilliantly bestows on its artists and writers as a never-ending, constantly self-renewing publicity coup. Normally, nothing irritates me more than to be informed that some mediocre artist or novelist has been shortlisted for the Turner Prize or the Man Booker Prize for fiction. But Gordon was an inspired choice. So would have been one of the other finalists his year, the photographer Craigie Horsfield. Starting in the early 1990s too, Gordon has had numerous one-man exhibitions in North America and Europe, has taken part in countless museum shows, and has received other prizes and awards, all of which together has consolidated his reputation as one of the most original and alluring figures in contemporary art. As late as 2003, however, I was only dimly aware of his existence. But in March of that year, a little over 5 years ago, the situation changed. I was going around the art galleries in Chelsea, in New York, and found myself in front of Gagosian on West 24th Street. Now, if someone had come up to me just then, some friend, say, who knew my tastes and prejudices, and had said, "You're about to see a video projection in which an elephant starts out on the ground, and then gets up, and then lies down again, and then gets up, and you're going to find yourself totally enthralled by it to the extent that from this day forth, you will do everything you can to see all the work you can by the artist who made it, the young Scottish guy named Douglas Gordon." I would have been prepared to bet the contents of my wallet, nothing very impressive, I admit, that simply couldn't happen. A video of an elephant lying down and getting up. Well, yes. So I'm going to show you 3 short excerpts from that video. But first I need to explain that in the darkened gallery, in a large space, there stood 2 large transparent screens at a right angle to each other, and that a different projection featuring the elephant was shown on each. In addition, a third projection featuring repeated close-up views of the elephant's head ran on a TV monitor in a corner. So I cannot possibly convey a sense of the installation as a whole. Here, though, are 2 minutes from one of the 2 main sequences. You have to imagine this on one of the transparent screens in a completely darkened gallery.
Huge screens.
Huge screen.
Yeah.
Sort of elephant-style screen.
Yeah.
And here are 2.5 minutes from the TV monitor sequence. The monitor itself, as I mentioned, was in a corner of the gallery, where it was very easy to overlook or to fail to take as seriously as the imagery deserves. Yeah, so periodically the screen blacks out, and then it resumes. Whenever it resumes, the elephant's on the ground. As it turns out, the elephant's name is Minnie, and in May of 2002, Gordon arranged for her to be brought into the empty gallery, where her trainer, whom we never see, commanded her to stand still, back up, walk around.